Hello and welcome to the UK Minifigure Collectors YouTube channel, the only channel to focus primarily on minifigures. Today I'd like to show you the awesome DC superheroes. Now these little bad boys were released by Wendy's, part of their 2023 campaign. I believe they came out in September and ended around sort of November time. Like always, we'll take a look at the box first. On the front of the box you've got this beautiful artwork of the three main DC characters. On the side and on the back you get these checklists. So as you can see, 18 figures, and it shows which ones are in each box with a number. So 3 minifigures per box with the cards and which colours are available. Now on the bottom of each box is a coloured circle, and that relates to which colour you're actually going to get. Now inside the circle is a number, and that relates to the checklist. So the one on screen is a green 4, so that would be the Flash, Batgirl and Gorilla Grodd, and it's as easy as that. Now inside each box, not only did you get the 3 minifigures, you'd also get one of these cool little envelopes. And inside each envelope is one of the 3 picture cards. So if you've got a Superman figure, you'd have a Superman card. And they have like the bios on the back of each one. So now all that information is out of the way, let's have a look at the actual minifigures. First up we've got Superman. Now as you can imagine, these are all very cartoony sort of style, which I think works really well. Like you can see that they've got these very sort of square jaws and everything's very square about him. Like even the stance itself, when you think of things in rectangles, this is where it all sort of comes together really. Next up we've got Supergirl, and like I say, it's nice to have like Supergirl in this set. Like they've really gone to town adding the female characters to this one, but I'd struggle to really think of any line that included the Supergirl sort of figures. I'm sure there are out there, but it was just a nice addition really, and it's a really good pose for her. They've done it really well. Next up we've got Lex Luthor, who's one of the more interesting sculpts. I love this alien battlesuit he's got on here. It's one of the most reminiscent things I remember about him. But like Superman, he's very sort of square looked again, and it's a bit of a shame. Now bear in mind I do bump the camera here slightly. There we go. But yeah, it's a nice sculpt. It works really well. Next up we have the Batman. Now again, another good sculpt, but for me it does lack a little bit. It does seem to tip slightly backwards, and it does fall over on me quite an awful lot. But again, it's that very square sculpt. Everything's so square on this. It just didn't seem to work. I'm sure it can be painted up to look absolutely amazing though. Next up we've got the awesome Nightwing, one of my favourite characters of the DC universe, but sadly this sculpt just doesn't do it for me. It's a good sculpt, I'm not saying it's not, but the way the actual legs are done on this, it just kept tipping over and I had to blue tack him down. That's really annoying when it's one of your favourite sort of characters. It's a cool sculpt nonetheless though. Next up is Catwoman. For me, this is the poorest sculpt of the actual 18. For some reason, Catwoman should actually be quite interesting, but this is probably the least interesting sculpt you could imagine. I mean, maybe it's just me, but like I say, the details very scarce. It just doesn't seem to have that sort of oomph that you sort of expect from the rest of the line. Next up, we've got Wonder Woman. A fine addition to this actual line. It's sculpted really well. It's not the best, but what detail is there? It's just enough to actually signify who this actually is. You can see the lasso of truth just sticking out there. Now I love the way the eyes are done on this one. It just seems more believable. I really like this one. Next up is Cyborg, probably the best of the actual sculpts in my opinion. The added little details on this sort of work really well. Not just a cool character, and probably one that's very underused in the DC universe, but it is a really cool sculpt. Now, I really like this one. It's not my favourite, but it is right up there with one of the best ones of the set. Next up is the Cheetah, an adversary for Wonder Woman. Now, I love the sculpting on this. The way they've done that cheetah sort of design on her actual like limbs and things, it's just done really well. The tail is sculpted to a leg, really fantastic. But yeah, it's not a character that I know too much about in DC Universe. I've got to admit that. To the Flash. Now, again, it's a very similar sculpt to Nightwing. He does suffer with balance problems and tends to fall over quite a lot. But the sculpt isn't actually that bad. The details of that Flash logo on his chest and the actual wings that come off his helmet and on his boots, they're really cool additions, but he's not my favourite figure, I've got to admit that. Next up is one of my favourites, Batgirl. I love the way her wings are spread out here. I'm surprised they didn't do it with Batman actually, but I'm glad they did it with Batgirl because it makes her such a much more interesting sculpt. Now I love the design on this, like I say, the way the wings are out, but the little details, like the little spikes that are on her actual gloves connecting it to the actual wings. Next up is another awesome sculpt, Gorilla Grodd. Now, he's one of my favourite DC characters. I love the actual gorilla on this. He's sculpted really well, but he's such a big, chunky figure as well. But I suppose that's what a gorilla actually is. I really do like this one, and I'm pretty sure this is probably 90% of the people's favourites. Next up, we've got the Green Lantern, the Jessica Cruz incarnation. Now, there was a bit of controversy, why did they not go for the Hal Jordan, like the standard I suppose, but I actually like this. I like the fact they haven't given every sculpt over to sort of males. You know, she is part of the universe and why not pad it out? You've got to have a female audience at least. A really cool idea. Next up we've got Nubia, Wonder Woman's twin sister, and if I remember right she was the first coloured character to ever appear in the DC Universe. Now this figure has some immense detail put on it. It's been done so well. One of the best figures in the line. I mean I keep saying that, but this is sculpted so well. Next up is Sinestro, the Green Lantern's arch nemesis. I believe he was part of the Green Lantern Corps and he abused his powers and became evil. But the sculpt on this, the facial sculpt, is absolutely fantastic. If you're a fan of the comics at all, you'll spot the likeness straight away. It's been done really well, and I really like this figure. We're into the final three sculpts now, guys. This one is Aquaman, like the butt of all the jokes of Justice League fans. Now I actually think it's a really cool power being able to swim and talk to the animals, but this sculpt is done really well. I love the detail on his upper torso. It's got sort of like chainmail or whatever, but I like these fins on the back of his boots and on the gloves as well. Next up we've got Mira, who turns out to be Aquaman's wife. Now this sculpt is actually really cool. Like, it's not given the credit that it's actually due. I love the webbed feet design and these fins on the actual back of the boots. Now the detail that's gone into her actual uniform, it's actually really cool, but it's a really solid figure in this line. The last figure is the Black Manta, the arch nemesis of Aquaman. Now he's a really cool villain in the DC universe, but I love these like power lines or breathing pipes that go into the back of his helmet. They've been sculpted really well, but there's not as much detail on the rest of the figure, but that kind of only adds to it in my opinion. It's a really cool one. Now I'm sure you're thinking about size. They are actually like very slightly bigger than a muscle figure and slightly bigger than a Ghostbuster Ghost as well, but all round a very good size, nice and chunky as well. The last piece of information I want to give you is about the 2023 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Batman figure. Now it only appeared on these cards. It was a yellow translucent Batman figure, and there was a slight difference in the card with like the writing in holographic sort of style as well. But the picture was actually donated by Cloning007 over on Instagram, and he collects anything muscle-like, so if you collect that sort of stuff, I really recommend you follow his channel. Now thank you very much for sticking with me. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like, and I hope to catch you all again next time.